Okay, for our story this week is called Moonbears Shadow by Frank Ash. Okay, so we're going to start first with our concept words. Our first word that we're going to talk about is wide. When something is wide, it's very big. It's big from side to side. So as you can see in our picture here, there is a wide hole in the street. Say wide with me.
Wide.
Okay, so I'm going to show you an example to remember wide. When you think of wide, it's big from side to side. So I'm going to use my hands and we're going to make wide, a wide shape with our arms. We're going to go as wide as our hands can go. That's how we're going to remember wide. This word tells about the hole that Bear digs in our story. Do you guys know anything else that could be wide? Do you see anything wide in your homes? This word is wide. Say wide.
Wide.
Okay. Our next word is ground. In Moonbears Shadow, Bear is going to try to nail his shadow to the ground. Ground is what we walk on. This is the ground of our classroom. You guys can stomp on the ground at your home. We're going to stomp with our feet. That's how we're going to know that this is the ground. It's something that we walk on. Trees and grass come from the ground. Say ground.
Ground.
Ground. Did you know that we even plant seeds in the ground? So you can plant a seed into the ground. It has to have like dirt and grass. So in our story, we're going to be looking for what Moonbear does with his shadow in the ground. Our next word is annoy. In Moonbear's Shadow, he is very annoyed when his shadow keeps bothering him. So something that's annoying is something that bothers us. Me, 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 me. That is an annoying sound. That's something that bothers us. Look at this picture. The brother is annoying his sister by putting a fake frog on her head. Something that annoys us, bothers us. Say annoy.
Annoy.
Annoy. Our next word is cast. In Moonbear's Shadow, the sun casts a shadow. When something is cast, it falls or is thrown into something else. We can remember cast by a fishing pole, something that we're also going to see in our story. So I have a fishing pole and I'm going to cast something or throw it or fall onto something else. Can you guys say cast?
Cast.
So let's pretend that you're at home and you are going to cast something. We're going to use our hand and we're going to cast. Say cast.
Cast.
Cast. Cast means it falls or is thrown onto something else. Our next word that we're going to talk about is deep. In Moonbear's Shadow, Bear digs a deep hole. Something deep goes down a long, long way from the surface. Look at this hole. It looks very deep. I wonder what things are in that hole. A way that I can remember that is getting a little jar in my classroom. This jar is very deep. It is deep down from the surface. If I want to reach something at the bottom, I have to go very deep. Do you guys think that the ocean is deep? Yeah, the ocean is very deep. It is far down from the surface. Say deep.
Deep.
Okay. Our last word we're going to be talking about today is scare. In Moonbear's Shadow, Bear scares away the big fish. If something scares you, it makes you afraid. Look at these kids. They must be watching a scary movie. They look scared. I can tell by the look on their face. Say scared.
Scared.
Bats scare me. Snakes scare me too. Is there anything else that scares you? Now we're going to move on to our story. We've listened to our concept words cards, and now we're going to do our story. So here is our story this week. It's called Moonbears Shadow. This is the front of the book. Say front.
Front.
This is the
Spine.
This is the spine. Can you guys point to your spines? They're on the back of of your body. The very back. What's this part of the book?
Back.
This is the back of the book. I know it's the back because it does not have the words where I start reading. What's this part of the book?
Front.
This is the front of the book. The title is in orange and purple, Moonbears Shadow. Who is the person who writes the words?
Author.
The author writes the words. Who draws the picture?
Illustrator.
Illustrator is right. We're going to start reading. Do I start here?
No.
No, this is called the title page. Here?
I don't think
yet.
so.
Not yet. Okay, I know this is where I start because here's where the words begin. Here is our book. One day, Bear went down to the pond with his fishing pole and a big can of worms. While he was putting a worm on his hook, he looked down and saw a big fish. I'm going to catch that fish, thought Bear to himself. When Bear stood up to throw his line away in the water, his shadow scared the big fish away. Go away, Shadow, cried Bear. But Bear's shadow would not go away. Okay, said Bear, if you won't go away on your own, then I'll just have to get rid of you. And he put down his fishing pole and began to run. He ran around the pond, and when he got to the other side, he kept on running. He ran through a field of flowers, jumped over the brook, and hid behind a tree. Good, thought Bear. Now Shadow can't find me. Do you see Bear? He's hiding behind the tree. But Bear was wrong. When he stepped out from behind the tree, the first thing he saw was his shadow. Nearby was a cliff. Bear walked over to the cliff and looked up. He said, I'll climb so high, my shadow won't be able to follow me, thought Bear. Do you think his shadow's going to follow him up the cliff? Let's find out. Bear climbed higher and higher until at last he pulled himself up to the top. Huffing and puffing, he smiled with pride. Then he looked down and guess what he saw? His shadow! Do you think he felt happy when he saw his shadow? No, he felt mad or annoyed. Something that bothers us is annoying. Now, Bear was very annoyed, so he went home and he got a hammer and some nails to nail his shadow to the ground. The ground is on the floor. That's where we walk on. Do you think the nails are going to keep his shadow on the ground? I don't know. We'll have to see. He hammered and hammered and hammered, but no matter how many nails he hammered, he couldn't nail his shadow down. If I can't nail him down, thought Bear, maybe I can bury him. So he got his shovel and dug a hole. When the hole was deep and wide, he let the shadow fall into the hole. Then Bear filled the hole with dirt. When he was finished, it was almost noon, and the sun was high in the sky. Shadow was nowhere to be seen. At last! No more shadow! But now Bear was very, very, very tired. So he went inside and took a little nap. While he slept, time passed, and the sun once again cast shadows everywhere. Cast means to fall or to throw onto something. When Bear got up and opened his door, he saw his shadow on the floor. Not you again, exclaimed Bear, and he slammed the door, hoping to lock Shadow inside. But Shadow was too quick. Sighed Bear. How about this? If you let me catch a fish, I'll let you catch one too. Nod your head like this if it's a deal. When Bear nodded his head, Shadow nodded too, because our shadow follows us. So Bear went back to the pond and once again threw his line in the water. By this time, the sun was in a different part of the sky, which made it easy for Shadow to keep his part of the deal. Look, they're both fishing. Moonbear is fishing and so is his shadow. And when Bear caught the big fish, Shadow caught one too. The end.